Kani kadai ke Batisi TV, bat pidang pet ya ka khubor baman kasngi, belawan ra shepi da ka rupa. Bapentingan bat penbha.
Kom ka kanhon ka badan hakaliang persya, hakayeng dorbar thawan jong ka jella. Kam dai ka kam tang machusyong klikti. Handrai ka dairu ka kanhon ka baham, bandan ka jingkit kle, ban pet perman ya ka sensar khadar jong ka sarkar. Kam tam ban pet ngor ya ka jing pendap ya ki jing kular juki nong mikman ki balak klai sik pet ba. Hasua ke election kam tam ya ki tu ki badan hakaliang sensar ne hak sarkar. Ya ka ne lapan pau dau nong yalam kaliang persya. Ubalong ru menteri rang ba ka jella barim haki arsamai balala u Dr. Mukul Sangma hak jing kendo bat kinong patai kubor henne kasngi ka lai potrek mentau bana risau arja karpra habakran bat kinong patai kubor hak ni kasngi u Dr. Mukul Sangma wala kadawru halor ki katu kat nekiman kiba ki seng san partai ki badan hak ni ka sarkar ya sanrap lang hapo ka kanhon Meghalaya Democratic Alliance kilabo ka jing kular khamat ki patba shuak election kom ka jing te lakam ya ka jing wan buhai snong ki breu ki bana ki wei per ki jela bat ki mender ka jing te lakam ki kam pentrem jong ki kanhon king atiar ha ka jela bat ki wei bat ka wei pat ka ba kalyang persya kala kham kan bnia kadai halor ka jing wan pendam no u general secretary jong ka neutral National Liberation Council u ba Chesterfield thank you dangshen.
We, after an exhaustive exercise, after an exhaustive due diligence, felt that okay, the peace to be restored, we must reach out and send a message to all our friends, all our brethren who are with different outfits, with different organizations, whether they are band outfits, whether they are terrorist organizations as notified by Government of India, or the mushrooming militant outfits, and subsequently gave a clarion call that all the members belonging to these outfits, whether band or terrorist or otherwise mushrooming militant outfits, please take advantage of the policy of the government, which includes providing them an opportunity to withdraw from their respective organizations and surrender before the authorities and avail the government scheme for proper rehabilitation, which includes counseling, skill development, and few other assistance, and which was much more better than what Government of India provided. The government actually ensured that okay, government is fulfilling its responsibility of restoring peace. So the government went on the kind of exercise which put pressure after pressure after pressure on these militant organizations, not running after and then killing them. Yeah. It was pressure after pressure. The technique, the strategy which I adopted was to put on pressure, so that these militant organizations, these terrorist organizations can continue with their usual recruitment and training in the camps, and rather because of pressure, realize the futility of being in those organizations and the futility of fighting against the government. And we saw the outcome. We have seen the outcome. Therefore, when we have offered this, somehow or other, there were some misgivings. And some people, some members opted to surrender, some members did not agree to that surrender, including Sohandi Sira. So this is on record. This is what the people of the state know. Now, therefore, what we are saying is that when we want to restore peace, we must ensure that we do it correctly, based on the past experiences. What we see today is that you look at the, I don't know, when a member of a band outfit says that he's retiring, and he comes without weapon. Where is the weapon? What is the way of surrendering? And whether the government has actually given a direction that okay, these are the parameters under which you have to. There is a standard operative procedure. If they have not changed that standard operative procedure, it remains. Government is a continuous process. The affairs of governance. So when the CM says that he is yet to be briefed, that means there is a disconnect. That's why we are saying that okay, then who is authorizing whom? Because the system is that the political department, which is actually held by the Chief Minister himself, will have to ultimately take a call on how the way forward should be. And from the way the statements have come from the CM and also, when we connect with the statement of the government in the floor of the House, we are seeing that it's contradicting. That means they are not cautious in their approach. That means they have not done proper due diligence and how to move forward. Therefore, we have said that government must ensure that when they adopt a strategy to facilitate this homecoming or returning of our brothers to the national mainstream, let them do it properly. We want to ensure that peace is restored. And we want to ensure that peace, when restored, is sustained. We should not see the repeat of the past. We have seen what has happened in Assam. We have seen what has happened in Garo Hills. So this is therefore important for us to say that, okay, based on our past experiences, we need to be cautious, and that's how the government is demonstrating its insensitivity while dealing with the interstate boundary problem with our counterpart, with Assam. I am pained to hear some of the narrative which is coming from the ground zero in West Khasi Hills and also in Ripoi, and the manner in which these issues are being handled, these problems are being handled by the government of the day. This shows that there is complete insensitivity. I'm afraid the kind of development that's unfolding in West Khasi Hills, there is a kind of standoff between the authorities of Assam and the residents of Meghalaya in the border area. Now this standoff can culminate into any kind of law and order problem. Do we want to see what has happened in 2010 in Lampi? Therefore, government has to actively involve itself and engage itself with the counterpart. Look, we learn from the past. What has happened in the past in 2010? Because we allow, this whole, tension to build up over a period of time. And when there's a standoff and there's a tension, you never know how things will unfold. Therefore, what is the responsibility of the government then? The responsibility of the government is to ensure that, okay, you nip them in the bud, so that there is no such kind of fallout which we have seen, the unpleasant, unacceptable, painful fallout which we have seen in the past. So when we see the response of the government and then lukewarm and not bothered, the Home Minister eluding, the CM not giving any statement on these issues, it only proves their insensitivity towards the people of the state beyond any reasonable doubt. That is very dangerous. And Assam government, our counterpart, has always engaged itself in being aggressor. Let us be very clear on that. Therefore, the state government has to actively engage themselves with the counterpart. I don't know how many times have the Chief Minister spoken to the counterpart in regard to this. How many times the Chief Secretary has been asked to speak with his counterpart in this regard. How many times these district administration in those respective districts have been, somehow asked to update the government of the day, the authorities in the government. Are these district administration capable of dealing with their counterpart like it used to be during our time? The DCs and SPs who are supposed to be, the first responders, are they doing their job effectively, appropriately? Is it being monitored? And if it is not being done, what is the corrective measures? Friends, it is very dangerous trend that we are seeing. We have collected all the inputs, we are seeing it happening. There is complete insensitivity. And I'm afraid this will ultimately result in more and more tension building up along the border. And therefore, there is an urgent need. Our job is to caution the government. When we are cautioning the government, they should also see that, okay, we respond. We have done our job to caution the government. Now the Chief Minister has given a clean sheet that there is no illegal mining, but our job is to caution the government. Now if the Chief Minister has given a clean sheet, okay, fine. But when illegal mine is proven afterwards, then Chief Minister will have to take responsibility because he has given a clean sheet. Our job is to only draw the attention of the government. If the opposition is saying something and the leader of the opposition is giving this media briefing to draw the attention of all concerned, including the officers and authorities, it is their job to review the situation and find out whether what we are saying is correct or not. If they feel yes, there is no illegal mining and they are giving clean chit, then we will find out whether what they are saying is correct or not. That is our job. We came up with the most innovative health insurance program to provide access to quality health care to all. You have seen in the past, unlike prior to the launching of this MHIS, Meghalaya Health Insurance Scheme, people who were possibly not in a position to think even to take their patients to a private hospital, taking their patients to private hospitals. Having the option whether they have the choice to take to government hospital or to a private hospital. They had an option because of the Meghalaya Health Insurance Scheme. And that is the complete empowerment of our people. Now suddenly, this ineffective, incompetent government has derailed this whole health insurance scheme. How many thousands of people are stepping into hospital every day? And how many people have fallen into debt trap because of not having enough fund to take care of the treatment requirement, the cost requirement for the treatment of their loved ones? And that was the reason for this program. Now, what is the reason why they cannot continue with this program? And how people are being subjected to this whole dislocation of this wonderful program that was initiated and that has been appreciated and accepted and loved by the people of the state. This again shows that the government is not bothered to take care of the most crucial sector, the health sector. That will cripple the economy. I tell you, if every family, whoever is not able to get the kind of support that we are providing, then what happens? The families will fall into debt trap. You are seeing what is happening to farmers in other states, committing suicide because then when they can't repay the loan. Now we have seen in the past, before MHIS, what has happened. Some people trying to ensure that their loved ones are treated properly, and then come what may, they try, beg, borrow or whatever, and ultimately land up in debt traps. They'll end up in selling their orchard, they'll end up in selling or mortgaging their land, and they leave behind, the kind of burden of debt to the generation next. That is how economy is crippled if we do not take care of these social sectors. So we started this program. Now this insensitive, incompetent government has messed up this. I condemn it, and I urge these authorities, the Chief Minister and Health Minister, to do their due diligence, do their homework, and revive and restore this MHIS immediately. They mishandled it. Till now, they have not been able to open that road. They are still putting barricades, dislocating the normal movement of people, normal movement of traffic that existed before this incident. What does it indicate? This indicates that their failure in restoration of peace, restoration of normalcy. Are they so incompetent that they can't deal with this kind of challenges which confronts the government, which is a expected challenges for any government? Any government of the day will be confronted by challenges. But what is expected of a government and the leaders who are heading the government is to be able to deal with those challenges, overcome those challenges, and ultimately restore normalcy. Till now they can't restore normalcy. So complete reflection of their incompetence, insensitivity, and condemn them.